0. Now, when we go for dynamic unbalance, apart from forces, we are having the movements also. Due to these forces, we are getting some movements or couple forces are generated. Okay. In dynamic balancing, we have to balance the couple forces as well as the centrifugal forces. Therefore, the condition for dynamic balancing is sum of all the forces should be equal to 0 as well as sum of all the movements should be equal to 0. Now, next class we are discussing about the balancing of rotating masses. Already we have discussed in the last class what is about the balancing of rotating masses. You can see here. This is what we have discussed in the last class, the balancing of the rotating masses. So from this, what you understood? The process of providing the second mass in order to counteract the effect of the centrifugal force of the first mass is called as the balancing of rotating masses. Okay, let me explain briefly, revise it. Suppose if you see, this is the axe of the shaft we are having. Okay, and now the shaft is being rotated. On the shaft somewhere else, this is the radius r. Some disturbing mass is being located. Now, can anyone tell, is this in balanced condition? Is the shaft in balanced condition? No. So to maintain this the shaft in balanced condition, what we are keeping? We are keeping the counter mass exactly in the opposite direction at radius r. So for this, what I am doing? I am keeping the counter mass. I am showing with some different color. So this is my counter mass. So somewhere else it is being located exactly opposite to the disturbance mass. This mass I am calling it as the M1. This is being located radius R1. Now condition for balancing is due to this mass, what is happening? It produces a centrifugal force Fc. Similarly, due to M1, it produces a centrifugal force Fc1. So to maintain equilibrium, sum of all the forces should be equal to 0. That is, I can write Fc is equal to Fc1. What is the condition for Fc? Centrifugal force. That is nothing but mr omega square, which is equal to Fc1. M1 R1 omega square. Since the shaft is rotated at the same angular velocity, for these two forces, the angular velocity remains constant. Now the condition for balancing is m into r is equal to m1 into r1. This is nothing but balancing of the rotating masses. Now next class, up to here what I have discussed earlier. Now we can discuss the balancing of single rotating mass by a single mass rotating in the same plane. You can see the condition here. Balancing of single rotating mass by a single mass rotating in the same plane. So I am having the axis of rotation. This is my shaft axis. So in that, what I am having? One disturbance mass only I am having. So this one disturbance mass is to be balanced with only one mass. My condition is on the axis of the rotation of the shaft, I am having one disturbance mass. This disturbance mass should be balanced with only one mass. Okay, let us see how we can do this. Okay, now you can see here. So let me draw here the conditions. Okay, right. So for example, so what is condition we are learning here? First topic, balancing of single rotating mass to 1 minute. Balancing of a disturbing mass. Balancing of a disturbing mass rotating in same plane. Rotating in same plane. This is the case one we are going to discuss now. Balancing of a disturbance mass rotating in a same plane. Now, can anyone tell how to do this? Dear students, please answer how we can approach this. So for this, let me draw the with the different colors. I can show you. Let me use some red color. So this is the axis of the rotation of the shaft. This red line gives my axis of rotation or shaft axis, which is being rotated clockwise or anti-clockwise. I am assuming this is rotating like this, okay, which rotates with angular velocity omega. This is my shaft axis, which rotates with angular velocity omega. Now, in this shaft, if I am not having any disturbance mass, it is in balanced condition. Statically, it is balanced. Now, what I am doing? Balancing of a disturbing mass rotating in the same plane. So, somewhere else, I am putting my disturbance mass. Let me show disturbance mass with my blue color. So, somewhere else here with the shaft axis at radius r, let m is the disturbing mass. Okay, I want to show this as the disturbing mass. Okay, on the shaft axis I am having one disturbing mass which is located at radius r. Due to this disturbing mass, what I am having, unbalancing is occurring. Now, how to balance this? So you can see the statement here, balancing of a disturbing mass rotating in same plane. Okay, this is the plane where the disturbing mass is being rotated. Exactly in this plane only we have to keep the balancing mass, so that to make this in equivalent or to make this in balancing condition. So for this, what I am doing exactly, in the same plane I want to keep similar, you can see here exactly where the disturbance mass is located, on the same plane only I am keeping one more mass. Let this mass take it as m1. This I am calling it as the balancing mass, which is being located at a radius r1. So this balancing mass is exactly placed in the plane of rotation of the disturbing mass. Can you agree with this? Okay. Similarly, due to this disturbing mass, it is whenever the shaft is being rotated, it is generated a centrifugal force. So due to disturbing mass, the centrifugal force is the Fc. Now come to the balancing mass. What is the disturbing force here? Sorry, what is the centrifugal force generated here? Due to mass m1, the centrifugal force is Fc1. Now I am balancing. What type of your master? What type of balancing I am doing here? Static balancing. Okay, that is what I am writing for static balancing. What is the condition for the static balancing? Sum of all the forces should be equals to 0. Okay, what is the force we are getting due to disturbance mass? Fc is the force. Fc is force due to disturbing mass. Similarly, Fc1 is the force due to balancing mass. If these two forces are equals to 0, then the entire system is in the static equilibrium. So how this is in equilibrium? Sum of all the forces should be equal to 0. That is Fc minus Fc1 should be equals to 0. That means how I can write this? Fc should equals to Fc1. Okay, let me go to second slide here. Now what is Fc centrifugal force? I can write it as mr omega square. Fc is nothing but centrifugal force due to the disturbing mass mr omega square. Similarly, Fc1 is the centrifugal force due to the balancing mass, which is given by the equation m1 r1 omega square. For static condition, Fc is equal to Fc1. That is m into r into omega square is equals to m1 into r1 into omega square. Since the rotation of the shaft is common, omega square will go away. The condition for balancing we are getting is m into r is equals to m1 into r1. That is the first equation we are deriving. Okay. Now similarly, let us go to the second case. Balancing of a disturbing mass rotating in different planes. Okay. Let me explain. Balancing of a disturbance mass rotating in different planes. Okay, let us see this one. Here, balancing of a single rotating mass by two masses rotating in different planes. Earlier, what we had done, so one disturbance mass only we are having. This one disturbance mass is balanced with one mass. You got it? Earlier we are having only one disturbance mass. One disturbing mass is balanced with only one balancing mass. Now second condition what we are doing, I am having only one disturbing mass, but this one disturbing mass is being balanced with the two different balancing masses rotating in two different planes. Okay, that is the condition here. Second one, you can see here, balancing of single rotating mass by two masses rotating in different planes. Okay, you can see here the masses satisfy the following two conditions of equilibrium. What are the two conditions of equilibrium? The net dynamic force acting on the shaft should be equal to zero. That is the condition for static balancing. Next, the net couple force due to dynamic forces acting on the shaft should be equal to zero. That is, sum of all the movements should be equal to zero. First condition is sum of all the forces should be equal to zero. Now the second condition is sum of all the couple forces, or I can write it as sum of all the movements should be equal to zero. If these two conditions are satisfied, my system is in balancing. Okay. What are the possibilities may arise while attacking the two balancing masses? Two conditions are there. The plane of disturbing mass may be in between the plane of two balancing masses, or the plane of disturbing mass lie on the left or right side of the two planes containing the balancing masses. So the second case can be solved by two methods. Two possibilities are there. The first one is the plane of disturbing mass may be in between the plane of two balancing masses. So let me draw this. So if this is my shaft axis, okay, where is my disturbing mass? You can see the plane of disturbing mass lie in between the plane of two balancing masses. I want to show here. This is my disturbing mass M, which is located at R. So now this disturbing mass is located between the two balancing masses. Let me use one more color. This is my balancing mass, first balancing mass, and this is my second balancing mass. Let me keep this as M1 and this as M2. This is located at R1 and this is being located at R2. Okay, that is the first condition. The plane of disturbing mass lie in between the plane of two balancing masses. Do anyone having any doubts regarding this? You can see here what I have drawn. Okay, first condition I have drawn here. This is my blue green color shows the disturbing mass. This one disturbing mass is being balanced by the with help of two different balancing masses. So M1 is first balancing mass and M2 is the second balancing mass. M1 is located at radius R1 and M2 is being located at radius R2 in this plane. Okay, right? In different planes you can see here. Let me mention the planes also. I can say this disturbing mass is at a plane A. First balancing mass at plane B. Second balancing mass at plane C. Okay. I'm having one disturbing mass. This one disturbing mass is being balanced with the two different masses. That is the case one. Similar second case is the plane of disturbing mass may lie on the left or right side of the two planes containing the balancing masses. How we can solve this one? We are having one disturbing mass. That disturbing mass is located exactly on the either left side or right side. Okay. Let me use one more slide. Right. Hmm. So first condition we are having two conditions are there. What we are doing here? Balancing of single rotating mass with the two different masses rotating in two different planes. Let me write the condition here. Balancing of single rotating mass. This single rotating mass is the disturbing mass. Single rotating mass with two masses rotating in different planes. Okay, this is the second condition, balancing of a single rotating mass with the two masses rotating in different places, different planes. This can be achieved with two conditions again, case A and case B. What is the case A? Balancing of disturbance mass exactly located at the mid of the two balancing masses. Okay, let me write here. Balancing of single rotating mass. Okay, the plane of disturbing mass may lie between the plane of two balancing masses. Okay, first condition is plane of disturbing mass lie in between two balancing masses. Second condition is plane of disturbing mass plane of disturbing mass lie on one side, either left side or right side. Lie on one side. Lie on one side and two plane lie on left or right side of the two planes. Plane of disturbing mass lie on one side. That is left or right side of two balancing masses. Okay, let us draw these two conditions here. So let me use axis with red color, axis of the shaft. This is my axis of the shaft. Okay, similarly this is for case A. Let me draw similarly for the case B also. Case B also I am showing my axis of the shaft. What we are doing here, disturbing mass is located in between the two balancing masses. Okay, let me locate disturbing mass with red color. So this is my disturbing mass M, which is being located at radius r. So where are the two balancing masses? Exactly in two different planes. Okay, let me show my balancing mass with green color. Okay, on the left side I am keeping first balancing mass. Similarly on the right side I am keeping my second balance mass. Okay, this is my balance mass m1, which is being located radius r1. Similarly this is my balance mass m2 at radius r2. Okay, that is the case one. Plane of disturbance mass lie in between two masses. Now second case is plane of disturbing mass lying on one side, that is left side or right side of the two balancing masses. So let me take my disturbing mass on the left side here. I want to keep my disturbing mass here. Okay, this is my disturbing mass M, which is being located radius r1. Similarly, what it is happening, and where are my balancing masses here? Somewhere else here. So let me keep my balancing masses. So I want to keep, this is my first balancing mass, and I want to keep one more balancing mass. Earlier I have keep the two balancing mass at the bottom. Now it is not possible to keep all the balancing masses in one plane. It may be other side also I can keep. I am keeping the second balancing mass here. So let me keep this as the first balancing mass M1 on the right side. This is the second balancing mass at the midpoint M2. Okay, this is located at radius R2 with respect to the axis of the shaft. All these radius are located with respect to the axis of the shaft.
So,
Yes, tell me.
so the masses of these all will be same. So the masses
No,
M1,
different,
M2.
different. All the balancing mass and disturbing mass are not equal. It may be different. I will show. Okay,
Okay, sir.
this is located at radius R1. Okay, now with respect to the axis, let me locate the distances also where these masses are being located. Suppose with respect to this disturbance mass, the second balancing mass is being located at a distance. L2. Similarly, the first balancing mass is located at a distance L1. L1 is not equal to L2. You got it? Similarly, with respect to disturbance mass, this is located at a distance L2. Similarly, with respect to second mass, the first mass is being located at a distance L1. Okay, these are the two conditions. Got it? The diagram what I have drawn here. This the disturbing mass is being located between the two balancing mass rotating in two different planes. Second case is the disturbing mass on the one side, maybe left or right side. I'm taking the left side. Now, this disturbing mass is being balanced by the two balancing masses rotating in two different planes. Now, let us see. Due to this mass, I am getting centrifugal force Fc. Similarly, due to balancing mass M1, I am getting centrifugal force Fc1, and balancing mass M2, I am getting the centrifugal force Fc2. Now come to the case 2. This is my centrifugal force Fc. This is my centrifugal force due to the mass Fc2, and this is the centrifugal force due to the mass Fc1. Now, can anyone give the balancing conditions here? Upward force is always equal to the downward force. For balancing, what is the condition for case A? Upward force is equal to downward force. Similarly, for case B also, upward force is equal to downward force. What are the upward forces of case B here? Two forces are there. One disturbing force Fc and one balancing force Fc1. These two is being balanced by the Fc2. Let me write the condition for balancing here. Fc plus Fc1 is equal to Fc2. You can see here. This is my first condition. Similarly, what is the condition here? Fc is equal to Fc1 plus Fc2. If you got these two conditions, I will go to the next slide. Are you clear up to now, dear students? Please respond, anyone.
Yes, sir.
Hello? Yeah, okay.
Sir,
I'm solving two cases side by side. You got it? I'm solving the two balancing of the second balancing condition with the two cases side by side I'm solving. Okay. Now let me here. For case A,
this is like the same beams, no, sir.
huh? Yes, tell me.
We have studied beams also, no, sir.
No, this is not beams. This is different concept. Okay. Fc is equals to Fc1 plus Fc2. Just I want to show separately. Case A, I'm continuing here. This is for the case B. So for case A, what is the condition I'm getting? Upward force Fc is equal to the downward force Fc1 and Fc2. Now can you write the equation? Fc, how we can write? Mr into omega square. That is equals to M1 R1 omega square plus M2 R2 omega square. Since the shaft rotates at the constant speed, omega is constant. I am removing the omega. What is the condition I am getting here? Mr is equals to M1 R1 plus M2 R2. This gives the condition of the balancing. In on what case? Balancing of a single rotating mass by two masses when the disturbing mass is exactly at the midpoint. When the disturbing mass at the midpoint, not only at the midpoint, at the center. Okay, the disturbing mass is located in between the two balancing masses. You can see here the disturbing mass red color is being located between the two balancing masses. Under this condition, what is the condition I'm getting for balancing? M into R is equals to M1 R1 plus M2 R2. Okay, that is for case A. Second case, the disturbing mass is exactly on one side and balancing masses on the other side. Under this condition, what is my balancing equation? Can anyone tell this equation to me, dear students? Hello, dear students. Can anyone give the equation for this? Fc plus I'm having Fc1.
Mr omega square plus.
First, let me write the equation is equals to Fc2. So I'm writing Fc is Mr omega square plus M1 R1 omega square, which is equals to M2 R2 omega square. Now my final equation is Mr plus M1 R1 is equals to M2 into R2. Okay. Now this is with respect to the static balancing. Now can anyone tell about the dynamic balancing for these two conditions? This is the condition for static balancing. Okay. What we have done so far? Sum of all the forces should be equals to 0. What we have done here up to now is static balancing only. You got it? Up to now we have done the static balancing. Now can anyone tell how to do the dynamic balancing?
Sum of moments will be equal to 0, sir.
Give me the equation. Can anyone take the moments about with respect to one reference plane? Take the moments. I will show the diagram here. Okay. Now let me give labeling also for this one so that you can do it easily. Let me take this as plane A. Similarly, the disturbing mass is at plane B and this is at the plane C. Similarly, for this also, my disturbing mass is at plane A. First balancing mass is at plane B. Second balancing mass is at planes. You can see all the planes A, B, C, A, B, C. Now, up to now, this is the condition for the static balancing. Now let us go for the dynamic balancing. Okay, dynamic balancing for case A. Similarly for the case B. For case A, you can see the diagram here. Now take the moments about any point. How we can take the moments about point C, dear students. Take the moments about point C. For case A, take the moments about points and give me the equation. Can anyone give me the equation? For case A, take the moments about
FC into L2.
right. Take the moments about, let me take point C. So if I take about point C, how I can write? FC1 I am having the force. With respect to C, what is the force I am having here? The centrifugal force multiplied by the distance. What is the distance here? L1 and L2. Total distance I can write. Okay, that is one. Second one is upward force FC and L2. Okay, I can write the equation like this. FC1 into L1 plus L2, which is equals to FC into L2. So the total distance L1 plus L2 is nothing but length of the shaft. I can write it as L, which is equals to FC into L2. Again, I can write M1 R1 omega square into L is equals to M into R into omega square into L2. Omega will go away. I am having the equation M1 R1 into L is equals to MR into L2. So from this I can get M1 R1 or MR, anything I can get. So if I want to find the first balancing mass M1 R1, that I can get it as M into R into L2 by L, or I can get M into R, that is nothing but M1 R1 into L by L2. This is how I can get M1 R1 or M into R. Once I get these equations, I can get the M2 R2 also. And L is nothing but L1 plus L2. This L is equals to L1 plus L2. This is how we can do the dynamic balancing for case A. Similarly for case B, can anyone give the answers, dear student? Disturbing mass is rotated on the exactly on the one side. I will show the diagram here again. Okay. Now tell me how to solve this one. Take the moments. Where we can take the moments? Can anyone tell, either with respect to point A or point B or point C? Anyone we can do. So let me
Points.
take the point. All the points I have taken. Let me take differently. Let us take
Okay,
with
sir.
respect to point B. Take the moments with respect to point B. Okay, just remember this diagram. What is the equation I can get here with respect to point B means? It is
FC
simply
into
Fc into L and Fc1 into
L1.
L2, L1. Right,
L1, sir.
right. Okay, okay. So take the moments about. I'm writing here. Take moments about point B. Okay, when I take the moments about point B, what I am having? One disturbing mass, that is Fc, multiplied by the distance L1 or L2 it is having. Let me see the diagram. Fc into L2 I am having here. Fc into L2, which is equal to Fc1 into L1. I will show again here. You can see here. This is Fc1 multiplied by the distance L1. Similarly, Fc multiplied by the distance L2. With respect to B, I am taking. Okay. This is what I am getting. Fc into L2 is equals to Fc1 into L1. Fc is nothing again mr omega square into L2 is equal to Fc1. M1 R1 omega square into L1. Omega will go away. M into R into L2 is equals to I am getting M1 R1 into L1. So from this I can get M into R, nothing but M1 into R1 into L1 by L. Or if I want M1 R1, that I can
L2, sir. L1 by
M1
L2.
L2 by L1. Got it? This is how I can get all the values of disturbing mass and balancing masses. Okay. This is about the case 2. So in balancing of rotating masses, up to now we have solved the two cases. First case is balancing of a single mass rotating by a single mass only. Second case is we are having the balancing of a single mass with help of the two different masses. Okay, let me revise again what I have done so far. You can see here. First case I have done balancing of a disturbing mass or single mass I am having. Okay, single mass is being balanced with the single mass only. Okay, one disturbing mass is being balanced with one mass here. Okay, I want to show here. I'm having one disturbing mass. This one mass is being balanced with the one mass rotating in same plane. That is case 1. Okay, condition I'm getting m into r is equals to m1 into r1. Similarly, case 2, balancing of a single rotating mass by two masses rotating in different planes. So for this I have to do static balancing and I have to do the dynamic balancing. Static balancing is sum of all the forces is 0. When I go for dynamic balancing, I have to balance for the coupled forces or balancing for the movements also. Now you can see the diagram what I have done here. Balancing of single rotating mass with two masses rotating in different planes. So this case can be achieved with the two conditions. Plane of disturbing mass lie in between two balancing masses, that is case 1. And the second case is plane of disturbing mass lie on one side, that is either left side or right side of the two balancing masses. Okay, these AB cases I have shown with two different diagrams here. This is diagram B and diagram A. This diagram A shows the case A, diagram B shows for the case B. Here this red color shows my disturbance mass and green color shows my balancing masses. This disturbing mass is being balanced with help of the two masses rotating in two different planes, and Fc is equals to Fc1 plus Fc2. This is the condition for static balancing for case A. Similarly for the case B. Okay, so this is one disturbing mass, either left side or right side have side. So I'm taking on the left side. My disturbing mass is on the left side. This disturbing mass is being balanced with the two masses. Now I have kept one mass on the right side and I have kept one mass on the middle at the bottom only. You can keep all masses in one plane, either up or down. I want to keep in different conditions. Okay, I'll keep one balancing mass in upside and one balancing mass in the downside. Wherever possible, I can do that. Okay, and these distance also L1 and L2 are the location of the disturbing masses. with respect to the axis line. Okay. Now this gives my condition for the static balancing for case B. Fc plus Fc1 is equal to Fc2. So Fc upward force, Fc1 is also upward force. This upward force is being equal to the downward force Fc2. Similarly, if you come here, only one upward force I am having, that is Fc. This centrifugal force is balanced with the two downward centrifugal forces, Fc1 and Fc2. This is how I have done for the static balancing. Fc is equal to Fc1 plus Fc2, and condition for static balancing is m into r is equal to m1 r1 plus m2 r2. Similarly, for case B also, m into r is equal to m into r plus m1 r1 is equal to m2 r2. This is the condition for static balancing for case B. Now come for the dynamic balancing also. Take the moments about point C I have taken here. With respect to moments about point C, these are the equation I am getting. Fc into L1 plus L2 is equal to Fc into L2. So on solving this total equation, I am getting the m1 r1 is equal to m into r into L2 by L. Similarly for case B, I am taking at different point movements. I am getting the values of m into r or m1 and r1. Once I get these values, similarly I get the opposite values also, m2 r2 also I can get. By equating the forces I can get. Got it. From static balancing, I can get the remaining values. So up to now, anyone having any doubts, dear students? Students, up to now, anyone is having any doubts? Please respond. Hello? 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 Are you there? The students?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Any doubts are you having up to now? I have solved the two
No,
cases I
sir.
have solved. No, okay. Let me go for the third case. Balancing of several masses rotating in the same plane. Okay. This is what people have made. I will send this to your thing. There are the equations I am getting here. Okay. Balancing of single rotating mass, two mass in different planes. This is what I have explained. Now this is the third case I want to explain now. Balancing of several masses rotating in same plane, case 3. Up to now I have done the two cases. This is my case 3. Balancing of several masses rotating in the same plane. This we can do by two methods. One is analytical method and one is the graphical method. Okay, let me complete one method now. Analytical, graphical I will do in the next class. Okay, let me use one more slide for this. Balancing of several masses rotating in the same plane. This can be solved by two methods. One is analytical method and second one is the graphical method. You can see this is the only one plane I am having, x-axis. How many masses I am having? Several masses. Let m1 is one mass, which is located at an angle theta1 at radius r1. Similarly, m2 is the second disturbing mass, which is located at radius r2. And m3 is the third mass, located at radius r3. M4 is the fourth mass, which is located at radius r4. Okay. So yes, for this I am having four different masses, means several masses, balancing of several rotating masses in same plane. These four masses are my disturbing masses. Got it? M1, M2, M3 and M4 are my four disturbing masses. These four masses are to be balanced. How I can balance? With help of a single mass M. These four masses M1, you can see here. On a single plane, I am having the four masses M1 at radius R1 making an angle theta 1. Similarly, mass M2 at radius R2 making an angle theta 2. And one more mass M3 at radius R3 making an angle theta 3. And M4 at radius R4 making an angle theta 4. Okay. So let me show with help of a diagram here. Suppose if this is my plane, x-axis plane, or this is my one point. This is a plane or point where the shaft is being rotated. With respect to this point, I am having, this is my first disturbing mass, m1, and second mass somewhere else, I am having m2, third mass m3 I am having. Similarly, one more mass I am having m4. This is at radius r4, this is at radius r3, this is located at radius r1, this is located at radius r2. With respect to this point, this make an angle of theta 1, this makes an angle theta 2. With respect to this line I am taking, similarly with respect to this line, this makes an angle theta 3. Similarly with respect to this line, this make an angle of theta 4. With respect to x-axis line, I am saying, with respect to x-axis, the mass m1 is making an angle theta 1, mass m2 making an angle theta 2, mass m3 is making an angle of theta 3, and mass m4 is making an angle of theta 4. These four masses are to be balanced with help of a single mass. I don't know where it will come. So I am assuming the single somewhere else here. And what I'm saying, that's why I'm drawing with a dotted line. This is my M balancing mass, which is located radius r. With respect to this x-axis, this is making an angle of theta. Okay. Theta is the angle made by this one. Okay, let me draw separately, which is clumsy here. Will show. So this is my line, x-axis line. With respect to this point, I am having, this is the first disturbing mass m1. This is my second disturbing mass m2. This is my third disturbing mass m3. I am limited with 4. You can keep 5, 6, n number of masses. With respect to this plane x, this located radius r1, at radius r2, at radius r3, and at radius r4. Now let us give the angles. First mass making an angle theta 1, second mass making an angle of theta 2, third mass I am showing with respect to here, this make angle theta 3. Similarly, this fourth mass making an angle of theta 4. These are my 4 disturbing masses. These 4 masses are to be balanced with a single mass. So I don't know where the single mass will come. So I am showing randomly somewhere else here. I want to keep with the help of this line. Okay. This blue line shows my balancing mass M, which is located radius R. Now this line making an angle theta. This make an angle theta with respect to x-axis. Okay. Now everything is clear up to now, dear students. If it is clear, I will go to the next step. Hello. Please, dear students, answer anyone.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is clear. So here I am having the 4 disturbing masses. These 4 masses are to be balanced with the one balancing mass M. This balancing mass M has to kept at radius R, making an angle theta. How to solve this one? Okay. First, let us go with the analytical method. Then I will go for the graphical method. Let me solve analytical method. Tell me. First, resolve the forces horizontally and resolve the forces vertically. With respect to M1, what I am getting? Centrifugal force Fc1 I am getting. For M2, I am getting Fc2. For M3, I am getting Fc3. And for M4, I am getting Fc4. Similarly, for mass M, I am getting the centrifugal force Fc. This Fc1 is inclined with by this Fc centrifugal force 1 making an angle theta 1, Fc2 making an angle theta 2, Fc3 is making an angle theta 3, and Fc4 is making an angle of theta 4. Similarly, these 4 masses are balanced with a mass M making an angle of theta. Now resolve all the forces. What are the forces you are having? Centrifugal force Fc1, Fc2, Fc3, Fc4, and Fc. These four are the disturbing masses. These four are balanced with help of a single mass Fc. Okay. Now resolve all these forces along horizontal axis and along the vertical axis. Resolve the forces. So what are the conditions for resolving the forces? Sum of all the horizontal forces is equal to 0. Sum of all the vertical forces is equal to 0. Let me go for the vertical forces. I'm writing sum of all the vertical forces equals 0. Can anyone answer what are my vertical forces here I am having? Yes, students. M1 R1 making an angle theta 1. Vertical is sin I will get sin theta 1. Similarly, M2 R2 sin theta 2 plus M3 R3 sin theta 3 plus M4 R4 sin theta 4. I'm not writing MR sin theta. Why? My aim is to find this FC value only. Okay. Here I'm having 4 disturbing masses. My aim is to find out this FC. That's why I've drawn this as a dotted line, which is invisible. Earlier it is not there. After finding all the values from FC1, FC2, FC3, and FC4, I will get the magnitude of the balancing mass and radius and angle. Got it? Initially, I am having the 4 disturbing masses M1, M2, M3, M4. Due to M1, M2, M3, M4, I am getting centrifugal force FC1, FC2, FC3, and FC4. So due to these disturbing masses, my aim is to find out the balancing mass M, at what rate it has to be fixed, and at what angle with respect to x-axis it has to fix. So for this, I am resolving the forces along vertical axis. Similarly, I am resolving the forces along the horizontal axis. I can write like this: M1 R1 cos theta 1. Similarly, M2 R2 cos theta 2 plus M3 R3 cos theta 3 plus M4 R4 cos theta 4. This is how I can get. What is the centrifugal force total? That is nothing but resultant. Resultant force is nothing but my centrifugal force Fc. Okay, I can get Fc is equals to the resultant force root of sum of all the horizontal square plus sum of all the vertical forces. Got it? The resultant of all these forces, I am getting the centrifugal force Fc value. So from this Fc, I can get m into r value. I can write like this: Fc is nothing but mr, which is equals to r. I can write horizontal forces m1 r1 cos theta 1, m2 r2 cos theta 2 square plus so on. Similarly, plus vertical also m1 r1 sin theta 1, m2 r2 sin theta 2 square plus so on. So on solving this equation, I'm getting the magnitude of m and r. Now I got
Sir,
the
it's
mass.
horizontal forces whole square now, sir.
Yes, sigma h whole square
Then
plus
we
sigma.
will get M1 R1 cos theta 1 plus M2 R2 cos theta 2, then whole thing by whole
Whole
square.
square. Ah, right, that only. Sorry, I have done separately, I think here. Sorry.
No problem.
Right. This is how I have to do here. Okay. Sum of all the horizontal forces should be equal to 0, and sum of all the vertical forces should be equal to 0. Okay, let me use one more slide. Okay. Now I am getting the resultant force R is equals to Fc, which is equals to m into r under root m1 r1 cos theta 1 plus m2 r2 cos theta 2 plus so on up to 4 I can get. This is whole square. Similarly plus m1 r1 sin theta 1 plus m2 r2 sin theta 2 plus so on square. This is how I can get my resultant force, that is equal to the Fc, that is equals to the m into r. Okay, I get the balancing mass and I am getting the radius. How to get the angle? That is given by the equation tan theta. That is nothing but sum of all the vertical forces by sum of all the horizontal forces. So from this theta is equals to tan inverse sigma v by sigma h. This is how I can get the angle made by the balancing mass and magnitude of the balancing mass and radius. Okay, this is analytical method we need to follow. So with this I'll wind up my class. Next I will continue graphical method. So up to now any doubts you are having, please ask me, dear students. If you are having any doubts, please ask me as of now. Let me take the attendance. It's coming. Yes, ask me doubts. Anyone having any doubts? Okay, I would like to show the you can see this diagram, balancing of several masses rotating in the same plane. So the left side diagram you are seeing now, that is the graphical method you can see here. So as of now I have solved the analytical method. Graphical method I will solve tomorrow. Okay. You can see here how they have written. Sum of the horizontal forces m1 r1 cos theta 1 plus m2 r2 cos theta plus so on. Similarly vertical force m1 r1 sin theta 1 plus m2 r2 sin theta 2 plus so on. You can see the resultant force Fc is equal to sum of all the horizontal square plus sum of all the vertical forces square. Tan theta equals to theta is the angle which the resultant force makes with the horizontal. Then tan theta equals to sigma v by sigma h. We are getting the angle made by the balancing mass. And Fc is the resultant force m into r. That is how we can get m into r. Okay. So this is a graphical method. I would like to show this in the next class, how we are approaching this graphical method. If you are having no doubt, you can leave this class, or if you are having
Sir?
doubt, yes, tell me.
Sir, while calculating, we'll get the FC value, right, sir? Resultant.
Yes.
So then
M
how we
in,
will get M and R, sir?
we are getting the product of m into r. We are
Yeah,
getting the, let me
but we'll not
explain.
get individual M and R, right?
Individual you don't get. We are getting the product of m. I will tell one thing. What I am getting, suppose, let me use. Suppose I'm getting, say this value as 50, I'm getting, assume I'm getting Fc as 50. What are the units I can get? Mass in kg, radius in meter. I'm getting Fc as 50 kg meter, assume. Okay. This 50, how I can write? 5 into 10 I can go. 25 into 2 I can go. Or any possible methods? 50. Only these are two. Okay. I can take 5 kg mass at radius of 10 meter, or 25 kg mass at radius of 2 meter. Vice versa. I can go 10 kg mass at 5 meter radius, or I can go 2 kg mass at 25 meter radius. You got it? This is how I can separate mass and radius. Is it
Yes.
clear? Thank you.
Yes.
If no doubts are there, please leave the class and you can join the next class. Thank you.